Hey, all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly values, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey everybody, how we doing? Thank you, Steve, for your contribution, and Stephen Harris. Are y'all the same, Steve? For your super sticker. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, sweetheart. Oh, I see the. Thank you. Okay. So, said two different Steves. Okay. Thank you for clarifying that for me. Okay. So, I wanted to talk about this. Shout out to Anton's channel. I seen this maybe a week ago, something like that. And I wanted to talk about it because this is a rare sighting of a hyena that got entwined with a lioness. Potentially a lioness. The way he described her, she had lioness qualities. Right? And even though we're going to be listening to him tell us about this relationship, I want to point out something to the ladies. This is going to be a PSA for the women. Okay? This right here is why I talk about relationships the way in which I speak about them. See, I am an advocate of marriages. Marriages for a reason. You get married for a reason, not a rare speckleback. You know what? Leave me alone today, y'all. Married for a reason. Okay. Now, I'm going to let him talk because he's going to set up the story. Okay. He's going to set up the story. I may be skipping some of Anton's feedback because I'm just for speed purposes and to be more succinct about it. Okay. But I need y'all to listen to his telling of who this woman is that he's talking about. Okay. So just to give you a quick synopsis, he's saying that he left the woman that helped him and held him down for about 4 years. He was in a relationship with this woman, not a marriage. Okay. All right. So here we go.
About these concerns, but I don't want to interrupt you. My apologies.
No, you're good. This is good.
Yeah, I have been planning on speaking to you for quite some time. I've been writing paragraphs on Instagram, erasing them, writing paragraphs on Instagram, erasing them, because I've been like, man, maybe this message is too long, maybe this message is too short. I don't want this guy to be thinking like, I don't mean to call you a guy, my apologies. I don't want this man to be thinking like, I'm just trying to get over on him, or I need some services from him. So I'm like, okay, cool. Well, I always remember what Kevin Samuels says was like, hey, when you come across somebody who's at a higher status than you, you have to offer some services, because it's like, if I don't want you around, then, you know, like, what's the course of having you around? Like, you're not any ROI. So it's just like, come on, man, what the heck? So I was like, man, you know, I'm a logistician. I've been retired ever since 2022, but I'm hopping back in the workforce now. But it's like I said, I have so much knowledge in all these different domains. And I'm trying to figure out how many, you know, ways I can hit you up and trying to make you feel like that I'm.
Now, as we listen, you can already tell it's a lot of word salad happening. A lot of word salad happening. That's red flag number 1. Ladies, 101, how to tell a lion from a hyena. Even if a lion can kind of be long-winded, he gets to the point. You understand his point. And then his long-windedness might be exacerbating, or not exacerbating, but elaborating upon the point. Hyenas talk like female hyenas. You now know what the point is, but they've been talking for 5 minutes. You don't know what they talking about. They just talking. It's just words. And you be trying to figure, you be sitting there like, oh, okay. I'm trying to figure out where you're going with it, beloved. Huh? Men know what they talking about. Hyenas don't know what they be talking about. They be see all that word salad. You know what word salad is? I'm trying to lie on the fly. That's what a word salad is. I'm trying to lie on the fly. I'm trying to talk and trying to make sense and pull the wool over your eyes and be slick. And at the same time, I'm trying to sound like I really know what I'm talking about, and it's intelligent, and I got a lot to say. Side note, having your sweater tucked into your pants, nasty work. All right. Before we get back, thank you, Stephen Harris, for becoming a channel member. I appreciate you.
But now you have been promoted. You are now one of my elite employees.
Appreciate you. Okay, we're gonna go back.
asset to you.
No. You don't have to do all of that, bro. I'm not one of those guys. I'm a
But
down to earth, cool dude, and with you know what I'm saying. I like to add value into people's lives. So here's the thing, bro.
right.
I think that you're approaching it a little bit wrong. When it comes to finding a wife, I don't think that, or when it comes to wind up, getting married, I think that you're looking for everything in one box. And I'm not gonna have an extended conversation because I want to keep some of the stuff private, and I don't, you know what I'm saying? I don't want your business to be 100% out there. So, email me. Do you know my email address?
Yeah, I think it's on your Instagram page.
Yep. Email me, and then we're gonna keep. For me, I kind of have this thirst and this hunger for more, and it does different than who I am at 40. You're a fully polished, finished person. You're always going to be ever evolving, and your purpose is going to change according to how it is that you progress through life. And so when the type of woman that you should look for is not a woman that checks all the boxes, because what you're trying to vet for is a woman that fits where you are right now. And
Can I say something?
Well, hold on, give me 1 second. What I tell guys to vet women for where you're going, not necessarily where you at. So you may not find the women that you run into may not necessarily be a finished product. You just don't want women that have the wrong attitude, the wrong disposition, and then also is not going in the direction that you're going in. I don't care if she's a finished product. I want her to be a productive adult. I want her to have great morals and values. I also want her to understand exactly what it is, and I'm for a chick that can put on her makeup as far as be happy, meaning that she needs to be adding value in ways valued from. She's always add value into your life. The superficial things. That's not check all the boxes. Checking all the boxes.
And I also want to give like a little context. I was in a relationship with a woman for 4 years. She was top 7%, when it came down to income. So her debt, the income rate wasn't an issue, but that is something that I take into consideration. I try to go, my dad.
Wait. Why you break up with her?
I'm sorry?
Why did y'all break up?
I watched your video, and to be honest, I wasn't really that close with God.
Now we're starting to get to it. Thank you so much, NS. Thank you so much. It's been a while since. Keep up the great work. Most High bless you always. Thank you. I appreciate you so much. I appreciate you. Now, what he said was he was with a woman for 4 years. She was in like the top 4% or so of earners. So her debt to income ratio was not an issue. So he got with a woman that was financially stable. This is 4 years ago. So Anton interrupts it. Wait a minute. Why did you break up with her? And he starts his sentence out with, well, I watched a video. I'm going to rewind it for you. Let you hear it. You see what he said? We're going to go back.
I'm sorry?
Why did y'all break up?
I watched your video, and that is something that I take into consideration. I try to go, I also want to give like a little context. I was in a relationship with a woman for 4 years. She was top 7%, when it came down to income. So her debt, the income rate wasn't an issue, but that is something that I take into consideration. I try to go, my dad.
Wait. Why you break up with her?
I'm sorry?
Why did y'all break up?
I watched your video, and to be honest, I wasn't really that close with God. I'm going to be completely honest here. I was very swayed essentially by science and things like that. So it's very hard. But essentially too as well, I have always been protected. I could say, I don't want to sound like I'm speaking from a fairy tale's point of view, but I have felt like I have been, given a gracious period of all the things that I've done in my life and been through. But, that's nor here or there. But the point of it is the reason why I broke up with her is because I had watched one of your videos and you basically had said to ask God to replace the ones that need to be replaced. And me and my girlfriend, I like ever since I started watching you, I've been telling her, I told her straight up, hey, look, I'm getting closer to God. I'm going to put you in church, and this and that. I'm going to teach you how to pray and all this other stuff. And I was just really becoming more and more accountable. I was like, hey, I'm going to I'm doing very well for myself now. That I really just wanted to kind of take a little bit more of your time. I know
so you saying that she wasn't spiritual enough for you?
No, it wasn't that. She was rebellious. Be honest.
What do you mean? Wait, what do you mean by rebellious? Break it down.
So all right. This is what happened. Long story short, when I in my relationship, you operate within the infrastructure of the relationship. Operating outside of that is operating outside of my coverage. It's like, think of like the U.S. defense umbrella. Once you go outside that ally range,
I got you.
And so it was I have rules to when I pick women, have a father. If you don't have a father, have a strong male figure, like a brother, whatever the case may be. But it just seems like from the very start, she just had trouble with male authority. And I'm paying like $8,000 a month for our living costs and things like that. And
wait. You was taking care of it?
Oh, yeah. But let me explain. Before you grill me. Hold on, let me explain. When I got out of the military, I had I got out during COVID-19. So that's when we met. I had nothing. She showed me how to she showed me how to get employed, showed me all about taxes. And then once I got into my logistics trade, I shot off. And I just brought her with me.
You heard what he said. So the first thing that he tried to lead with was that she's rebellious and I've been taking care of her. Which in the next breath, he basically contradicts what he says and basically says she took care of him. Because just a few minutes ago, he told us that when he met her, she was in the top percentage of earners. So she did not need him to financially he wasn't saving her financially. He wasn't saving her. She was saving him. She said when he got out of the military and all this other kind of stuff, he had nothing. He had nothing. And she taught him how to get employed, how about financial literacy, how to do his taxes properly, how to set up his finances properly. And then he got into the logistics industry and then he began to make money. Okay. We keeping up with his story? I know it's a lot of word salad. This is why I say this is a hyena, because he's talking like a hyena, right? You gotta parse out what chicks be talking about because they say a lot and then they tell on themselves in the middle of it. Okay. So like a chick, I gotta parse out the stuff that the flim flam and get to the actual heart of what he's saying. So he didn't have anything and he didn't really know what to do. He got with a woman that actually was financially stable and probably just needed the order and the covering of a man. All right. This is why she got with him. It wasn't the money because he didn't have any. She wanted what appeared to her to be a man that had structure and a plan. So that was more important to her than whatever money he had, which he didn't have at the time. And he said, okay, I'm going to probably be doing this, that, and the third. And she saw, okay, well, he's going to get up to speed eventually financially. So that may come later. But right now, I want the man. I want the man. I want whatever his covering is. I want whatever his order is. I want the other P's. Okay. I want the other stuff. This is what I'm hearing. I want the other stuff. So she deals with a man that doesn't have it together financially, but is saying, okay, well, I'm going to get it together financially later on. She's like, okay, that's fine because I'm actually financially okay. Right? So I'm not in some kind of desperate financial mode. I can handle it. You know, like I can handle that. And then later on, if the roles switch, that's fine. Right? Fine. Right? Okay. I just want to parse out what's being said and what's not being said. Because he's trying to tell the story. Now, mind you, he also describes this same woman as rebellious, but rebellious how?
And then she shot off within her child, like she's a director, for a big school out here. You know what I mean? For a preschool. So she makes
wait. Hold on. It got to be something deeper than that.
This is the one.
Hold on, Quinn. We ain't got there yet. It's something else. Y'all had a discussion. It was a long-term something that was happening. It's something. It was something more than just she's rebellious or she didn't want to go to church. What happened?
So we had an emotionally charged vetting. Like I've always vetted her to a fine iron from the time that we've got to our relationship to the middle. I'm talking about to the point that I'll ask her questions like, hey, who are the men you've been with in your life? She told me 5. I'll take that number and I'll write it down.
Wait. Only 20
questions. So
hold on.
I'm sorry.
How old are you again?
I'm sorry.
How old are you again?
I'm 27, but I was doing this back in 24.
Okay, how old was she when you met her?
I was 23 when I met her. She was 24 when she met me. She's a year older.
Okay, go ahead.
3 months, I'm sorry. But so the point of it is that I was in my vetting process, I told her, when I'm making this amount of money, I'm going to put all of my liabilities in your name. Because I can't afford for me to be paying for everything, and then you decide to be disrespectful one day and just I'll leave, and then I'm stuck with the credit bureau and all this other stuff. So that was the deal. As long as you remain good behavior, you will always get, the bills and everything paid out, and yada yada yada.
You heard that? Did you hear him say that? He said, I told her that I was going to put all of my liabilities in her name, which means that all of the assets will be in his name. Now, if you understand anything at all about finances, that means he puts the debt in her name and the passive income in his. Okay. She agreed to this. Ladies, see, I'm all about, here's my deal. Here's my deal. I'm all about helping support your husband. See, too many females, even the wayward lionesses, who I'm really talking to, you get caught up doing this stuff for men that have no intention of marrying you. How do I know that he never had an intention of marrying her? Because he didn't do it. He spent 4 years in a relationship with a woman who accepted him at his financial low. She also accepted to shoulder all the burdens of his debt because she did not have any debt. So she could handle that. She shouldered whatever. He just got through telling us that he is real strict and he questions her a lot about everything. This is a woman with pretty much a low body count. She said that she was with just 5 dudes all together or whatever. And she basically wants this relationship. The problem, and this is why I talk about it to the women, stop doing all of this stuff. Stop doing help meet stuff. And it ain't no husband. Women are supposed to be help meets to their husbands. This is why y'all be getting mad. This is why y'all get mad. Like this woman here, after he left her, she probably ain't not going to be interested in helping no man, support no man, do nothing. And the problem with that is that you do all of that stuff for men, the wrong dude. You do it for the wrong dude. Why is he the wrong dude? Because he never intends to marry you. He never intended to marry her because he never married her. He got with her with the intent that, oh, she can help me. And she helped him. He never intended on making her his wife, because if that was something that he wanted to do, he would have made her his wife at the outset. Vetting don't take 4 years. It don't. I promise you it don't. Men know whether or not they want you to be their wives. They know. They not trying to figure it out 3, 4, 5 years down the line. They not. I promise you they not trying to figure that out. They done already planned out how they finna play this. They already done it. Okay? 2 years passing and 3 years pass. You're wasting your own time. I don't care what he's telling you. I don't care what he say. Oh yeah, baby, we gonna get married. No. We're not going to. We're not. Men vet you. They already know what they want to do and whether or not you're the woman that they want to marry. And y'all be getting caught up because you be so desperate and you be trying to hold on and hold out hope that it's going to be this way and it's going to be that way. You have to deal with the reality of the situation. You got to believe people when they show you what's up. You got to believe what they show you. That go for men and women. You got to believe what people show you, because they can make their mouth say anything and really they're going to tell you what they on. But the actions don't lie. The energy never lie. The action don't never lie. It don't never lie. You can never prove that you are good enough to be the wife of a man that is not looking to marry you. Let me repeat that in the camera. You will never prove that you are a good wife, a good potential wife to a man that has no intention of marrying you. Okay? And you know when they intend on marrying you, because men state their intentions. Men say what they want. All of that, we gonna wait and we gonna see what it is, and we gonna all that foolishness. When men when they are looking for wives, when that is the end goal, when that is the point, when they are vetting you for that position, they say that. And then they move like they're vetting you for that position. If a man is vetting you for that position, he already assumed that you fit that position. And then it be up to you to play yourself out of the position or play yourself into the position, basically. This is what I'm saying. Men are gonna move how they want to move. If they never bring up marriage and they never talk about the future plans and how you're involved, if it's always a maybe, a if we still together, no. Men do not play in your face. They tell you what it is. Now, if you play in your own face, That might be a different story. And whoever this woman is played in her own face. Played in her own face, because after year one, this woman is in her 20s. Gave her 4 years of her 20s. This is prime age. She's 27, as the same age. He says she only like a couple months older than him. So 4 years ago, she was 23. This is why you need a daddy in your life. This is why you need women that's going to actually tell you what's up when you are young. Because she wasted her time. Prime age. 23, 24 years old. Ended up being a high earning woman. I don't know what he said. She was some type of director of something. Okay. Thought she found somebody that was going to be her husband. So she immediately began to do what she assumed was supporting and helping him. Whatever she thought that looked like, or whatever he told her that was supposed to look like, that's what she was trying to do. He said that out of his mouth. That's what she was doing. You cannot waste your own time. I'm all about a good support. I'm all about jumping in the trenches and helping your husband. And the reason why I'm saying your husband specifically is because I'm assuming that the vetting process has already been done properly. He vetted you, you vetted him. And so now you guys are in a relationship, a marriage, a covenant together. And therefore, it is time to roll up your sleeves and jump in the trenches and support and be a helpmeet and a support system for your husband so that you both can win. Let's go to a commercial break, and then we're going to be back. So after these messages, we'll be right back. So I need everybody to go to ashkicking.com. The link is at the top of the chat. Springtime is close at hand. It's right around the corner, and we're going to be having arms out, shoulders out, and ashy ankles out. And if you don't want the ankles ashy, then you're going to need to go to ashkicking.com and pick up some of the best body butter on the market, as well as the other very high quality personal care items. If you're trying to look your best and keep your skin feeling soft and silky smooth, you definitely need to go and pick up some of this wonderful body butter. It is glorious. The smell is awesome, all of that good stuff. And if this is your first time ordering, please take advantage of the 10% discount using the promo code Crimson at checkout. You definitely, once again, want to go to ashkicking.com. The link is at the top of the chat, and make your order now. I don't know how many likes I need, but I owe y'all a bam, 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 bam. You got to hit the like button. Bam, bam. You got to, So go ahead and hit the like button. Thank you so much, no one, for becoming a member. I appreciate you.
But now you have been promoted. You are now one of my elite employees.
Somebody put the member link in. Oh, thank you so much, Nicole. So if you want to become a member of the channel, please go ahead and hit the link and you can join the channel. Okay. So let's come back to it. So this is what we're talking about. This is out of his mouth. What kind of woman this is that he had, right? We're going to let him finish talking.
Go from that forward. As I'm getting down the road, you know, as I'm getting more and more ingrained in the relationship, what ends up happening is that we have troubles with how we're going to discipline our kids. And then I figured out, you know, I watched a video about basically authenticity. It was about a gentleman and a woman who were like, the woman was on the phone and she was speaking about like how Rita and yourself, I guess the lady didn't like the way how you describe women. And Rita didn't really have a problem with it. And I'm kind of like yourself. Like, if I see a pretty girl, I'm, hey, yada, yada, yada.
Notice that he keeps referring to these videos that he's watching. Here's the problem that I'm having with that. It's okay to watch videos or to watch supposed red pill content or to watch other videos to get a different perspective of things, right? That's fine. But there is always balance. There's always balance to be achieved. If what's being said in the video doesn't apply to your actual situation, then don't force it to apply to your situation. If you have, it's just like when chicks get on the internet and they be listening to all these other chicks talk about how men is dusty and men ain't doing this and men always cheating and men is always doing some female dirty and all of this other kind of stuff. But that don't apply to her man. That don't apply to her relationship. Her man is not doing none of that. And then all of a sudden she copping attitudes with her man. You know, now all of a sudden she got these little narratives in her head about what he's doing and what he's supposed to be doing. And now all of a sudden the relationship that she was just fine with, that was just fine, that she wasn't having no problem. She wasn't having no problem with her man. Now all of a sudden she got a problem with her man and it ain't have nothing to do with him. He didn't do nothing. He didn't do anything differently. He been the same man he been for the whole time. And she been cheesing from ear to ear about that man. She'd tell anybody about my man, my man, my man. Then all of a sudden she started watching Sprinkle Sprinkle. Then all of a sudden she started watching, you know what I'm saying, the Princella or anybody else, right? And then now all of a sudden she got an attitude with her man and he ain't doing nothing. He has not changed. He has not altered anything in a relationship, but now these narratives is in her head. Narratives that do not have anything. They are not applicable to her situation at all. But she want to apply it to her situation because she's listening to all these other chicks trauma bond and trauma dump, and she's trying to relate into some stuff that is not for her. This is the same thing that I'm hearing. That he had a situation that the hyenas and, you know what I'm saying, a chick that's doing you dirty and all that kind of stuff didn't apply. It didn't apply to his actual reality. Yet he wanted it to apply. He wanted to identify with that and then bring that into his actual relationship, which actually messed up the relationship. Because from what he said, she didn't change. He changed. He admits this out of his mouth, that she didn't do no change. And she was the same woman that he met, doing the same thing that he was okay with to begin with. And then he switched up and then got mad that she didn't like the switch up. You can't switch up on nobody all crazy and then they ain't supposed to say nothing. The bait and switch don't work for nobody. It don't work. That tear your whole relationship up, because when we signed on together, see, we didn't sign on for this other stuff. We signed on for this, not that. So how you just going to come through and change the whole agreement? No. No. I don't expect nobody to deal with that. I don't expect a man to deal with baiting and switching. And I don't expect a woman to deal with it. Nobody should have to deal with that. Be who you are from the get-go, so we can know whether you got a lion's mane or back feet. We want to know. Inquiring minds want to know, because I want to know how I'm supposed to move around you. Exactly, babe. So knowledge without knowing how to properly apply it is a recipe for chaos. Exactly. So you getting information, but you don't know whether or not to apply these things, or whether or not this information that you're acquiring is even applicable to you. I'm gonna get to the super chats in just a moment. Right? So I just wanted to point that out, how every time Anton asked him a question about what changed or what happened, he started talking about videos that he watched. Now, see, if a woman say that, you see what I'm saying? It's like, oh, girl, well, you done messed up. Who told you to start watching videos and then start trying to get an attitude? So you that easily led off into left field? You somebody on a video that you don't know. You don't know them personally. You just know what they present online. And then you gonna let something they say about a situation don't got nothing to do with you come bother us in our relationship? Oh, baby, bye.
And my girlfriend has never gave me a bad eye to that. But at the end of the day, I always kind of felt that she had something towards all of that. So I would, I brought that up, and then things like that. And
but she wasn't on board with that.
No. She told me that she doesn't not feel pretty. She understands that what I'm saying to her is what I want her to be in the future. So she said, if anything, that's just a blueprint of what she wants to be. It was just a part of the authenticity, I think, that she didn't really get on board with, is when I was going ahead and I was saying, hey, man, the next thing that I want to move to is your body count. And I want to know, like, if you've been with 5 guys, but hey, how many times have you had sex with these 5 guys? So we went to
Did you hear that? Now, this is 4 years in. This is 4 years into it. This is not the first few months. This is not even the first year. This is after 4 years of being with this woman. She been told you, well, my body count is 5. Now he want to know, well, how many times did you have sex with the men that you was with? Listen, let me tell you something. That ain't no question that you ask nobody. That ain't no question you ask nobody. You cruising for a bruising. If they say they was with that guy and that guy and that guy, just they was with the guy. You don't need to know how many times they was with that particular guy. Because if she was with him long enough, she don't know how many times. I could not tell you how many times me and my husband have been intimate. I don't know. I lost count. I don't know. She wouldn't know that anyways. Let's just start there. She would not know that. Even if she wanted to be honest about that, that's not a number that she know she would not know. If she was with a particular man for 2 years, she doesn't know how many times she was intimate with him. Who's counting that? See, now you getting into some areas that you don't need to get into. How many times she was with the guy, and then what did he do to her? You don't want to know. You don't want to know. Because if she tell you something hurt your feelings, now what? If she tell you, yeah, he was this size and that size, and he used to pull my hair, and he had me, I was climbing the wall every time that man touched me. Now you're going to feel some type of way. Stop asking questions. Why are you asking that question? That's not a question that you're supposed to ask. If you want her sexual history to a point to say, okay, how many guys have you been with? Okay, that's fine. That's fine. But all of them trying to get into the intricate details, you don't want to know that. You don't want to know that. I promise you don't want that information. Just like a chick don't want that information from her man. Well, how many times? Well, what kind of way? Well, you put her in that position. Why come you don't put me in that position? Like, what is we saying? What are we saying? What are we saying? See, you play stupid games, you'll start winning stupid prizes. You don't ask no questions. Here's the other part of that. Right, babe. Now, if she tell you he slapped it up, flipped it, and rubbed it down, right, now you're going to be sitting somewhere looking like that stone fox, just staring off into the distance. Now you're going to be feeling stupid and inadequate. Here's the other part of that. I'm gonna tell y'all the real issue with that. You can't ask day 1 questions on day 4,632. You can't. See, at the outset, certain questions are manageable. They're expected because these are vetting questions. So you ask vetting questions at the beginning, because the vetting questions are there to weed out who you're going to be with versus who you're not going to be with. Okay? That's why you ask certain things at the beginning, because of certain, and particularly if you're asking about your deal breakers, then you have to ask about your deal breakers in the beginning, because if they say something that is that breaks the deal, then that way you can break it off in the beginning before too many feelings and too many, you know what I'm saying, things get enraptured and intertwined with each other and all that kind of stuff. You can end it off, you know what I'm saying, and be like, well, that's okay, you know what I'm saying, because I don't really rock with that and things of that nature. But it wasn't a deal breaker when he needed a couch to sleep on. Do you understand what I'm saying? All of them questions didn't come up when she was teaching him how to be employed and how to get his finances together. See, he wasn't worried about whether or not old boy had her in doggy style position, or did he have her with her feet to the ceiling. Like, he wasn't asking them kind of questions. The reason why he said it was an emotionally charged conversation is because you're asking me questions that are from the beginning. So now I know you're picking with me to break up with me. Now you're picking around to see what thing you can break up with me over. And that's one way that a lot of people try to get out of relationships. How you gonna break up with somebody on day 3,400 and 35 for something you knew day one? How you breaking up for that? Didn't you know that at the beginning? And why wasn't it a problem then? Why wasn't this a problem 4 years ago? If it's a big deal and it's a deal breaker and it's here, it's either now or never about this question, why didn't you ask me this question 4 years ago? You see what I'm saying? That's just like a woman getting with a man and he was at a certain income level and she knew that, and then 6 months later she mad because he at that income level. Like, but you knew that. So why you mad? How you mad at something later that was going on in your face in day one? Like, how you, if it was unacceptable, then you should have accepted it. What made something acceptable and then not acceptable later? The same thing. So her number didn't change about the guy, about the men that she had been with or whatever. This was a fault finding mission. I'm going to see what I can break up with you over, because I want to break up with you. And I don't want to just say I'm breaking up with you because I feel like I can do better now. You don't want to just say that. You need it to be the other person's fault. This is why I'm saying he's a hyena, because hyenas operate like this. She can't just be honest and say, I want to be hypergamous, so I'm just going to leave you because I think I can do better with another man. You ain't did nothing, but I think I can do better with another man. You know what I'm saying? Peace. Like, she can't do that. She have to make it the dude's fault. Like, she gotta say he did something to her and he was too controlling and he was too this and too that. And so that's why she left. Like, she gotta make it to where she justified in leaving a situation she shouldn't have left. A situation she was the problem in. You see what I'm saying?
Every single, I'm talking about session, yada yada.
No, you don't want that. You don't want that.
It was a real grade process. I know
you don't want that. You don't want that.
Real grading process.
Yeah.
And the reason why it was a real grading process, because I'm putting on all of this. Marriage is going to be the biggest investment of my life. So I just regraded her, 4 years within the relationship.
No. Listen. Ken, can I call you Ken?
Today, you're like, you got too many cons. Break up. I'm out.
Yeah, 11 things that I look for. Or I'm sorry, 8 things at how much debt that a company has. I can look at what entire life ever. And with that insight, it gives him some of the intangibles who that person is. The one thing that we know about women is that women are emotional, they feel, love is real, and love is something that can't be measured, right? And so you can put all of these different things that's on a list and you can say, father, body count, how many times that you had sex with each person that you had a body with. You can say, whether or not you have everything in your name, director, all of this other stuff, right? And then when you go and you package all of that stuff and you look at that final thing and you use your instincts to figure out whether or not this person adores you, right? That's also a huge factor. And you cannot be so rigid to where you ignore all of the other things and then you only focus on the stuff that you can measure.
I never told you what went wrong. And this, when I
tell you what, you taking a long time to get there. I'm trying to get to the other thing.
My apologies. I will hurry up and get it there. I don't mean to waste your time. Long story short, after all of this, we got through all the hashing out. She followed through all the questions and things like that. No matter how rigorous or how bad they were, she cooperated and she gave me the answers to the questions and we got through it. It was afterwards she walked around with a poke lip. And I understood because I understood. I have a high EI level, emotional intelligence. I understand that what I asked you is not to make you feel good, is what I told her. I understand it wasn't gonna make you feel good, but I lended out my hand. And I said, "Honey, hold my hand," as we walk in the hallway, because I just moved her into a nice new luxury apartment, as you can see here, yada yada yada. And but at least in my name, it's not in both our names. But at the end of the day, I was like, "Here, take my hand. We can go ahead and we can continue, our relationship and be happy." And the girl wouldn't take my hand. And so
from his words, had a very emotionally charged conversation. And that would be an emotionally charged conversation to have 4 years in. Because I want y'all to think about that. He's having a conversation with her, grilling her on information that he didn't need to ask those questions. Those are unnecessary questions. And then he's grilling her about them. After, and I'm gonna tell you what she's thinking. So now that you don't need me anymore, you don't need no support from me, you don't need my help, you don't need my advice, you've gotten to where you wanted to go, and now you're looking for reasons to leave me. Now there's something wrong with me. Information that I've already divulged to you years ago. Now is something wrong with this information? Well, my story never changed. I never said nothing different. So why are you circling back around to something I told you 4 years ago? And then you never really brought it back up. So I'm trying to figure out where it's coming from now. Why now? And then you grill me about it. Probably make me cry. I'm feeling away. And then just after that, I'm probably still feeling away. And you get mad because I don't want to be holding your hand and all of that type of stuff in the house. I feel away. If the most your woman gonna do when she feels hurt or when she feels offended or when she feel angry at you about something, if the worst that she's gonna do is just be quiet, if the worst that she gonna do is go sit down and be quiet somewhere, what we talking about? If she's not raising all kind of foolishness and arguing and fighting and carrying on with you because she feels away, and the most that she don't want to hold your hand right now, and that's problematic to you. You know how many men would kill baby chickens to have a woman that her top answer to being really upset is to go somewhere and sit down? See, folks gotta be careful what they complain about. careful what you complain about. Because people, if we know that the nature of women is to be emotional, how we getting upset that she got emotional? If she ain't acting stupid because she got emotional, then let her just let her chill. If it take all night and she her mouth long enough to suck peas out of hot sauce bottle, but she ain't saying nothing. You know, she fixed your dinner and all that kind of stuff in silence, in silence. She cleaned up. She did her regular stuff. But she wasn't arguing with you and fighting with you about it. She just sad about it, and you know, she was upset about it. Leave it alone. Leave that alone. You got to know when to hold them, when to fold them. Leave that alone. You gotta leave that alone. Cause that's one of my responses. To get upset, I'm gonna go somewhere and sit down. I'm probably gonna cry it out or something like that. It's not really my go-to to argue and keep arguing, That's not really my go-to. Like I gotta be real riled up to like find something else to say. I mean, you got to really rile me up. I got to be feeling a way. And even then, it's going to be respectful. I ain't going to call no names. You know, you ain't going to be all kind of MFers or nothing. You got to leave that alone. We got a little bit more. I see the super chats. I'm going to go back to the super chats. Like, but y'all get what I'm saying? Like if a chick, if her response is to go sit down and like cry, like leave her alone, bro. That's like whooping your kid and then want them to jump in, you know what I'm saying, jump for joy like 2 seconds after that. Like they not finna do it. If you give your kid a spanking and the most they finna do is go in the room and cry, let them go in the room and cry. You spanked them. What they supposed to do? They'll get over it. Just leave them alone. Sometimes you gotta leave people alone. And then they can get over it. They can get over the real emotional part of it, and maybe they can think of it a little bit differently when they're not so upset. But you can't force people to not be upset. Like you can't force people's reactions to be how you want them to be. You can't do that. People gonna react how they gonna react. And you can either deal with that type of reaction or you don't deal with that type of reaction. Either way, even if it's a toxic reaction, you're not going to be able to change them 9 times out of 10 to make them have a different reaction. You just have to decide whether or not you want to deal with a person that reacts this way from adversities or anger. You have to vet. That's part of the vetting process. Vetting how a person responds to being upset. Vetting how people respond to anger, vetting how people respond to things of that nature, because that tells you a lot about a person, how anger affect them. And what do they take a lot of low blows? Do they start arguing and then start getting real crazy? Like, what do they do when something is emotionally challenging to them, or if something angers them? Like, how do they fly off the deep end? Do they just get real quiet? Do they withdraw? You know what I'm saying? Do they get real talkative? Are they real argumentative? Do they start fighting? Like, what do they do? That's very important.
So I split for a little bit. Went to give me some grapes. I took a walk. I came back and I said to her, I said, do you understand why I got upset? And she told me no. And I said, because if someone kicks that door, I have to put up my light. If the lights go out, I have to go to work and put my butt on the line and make, ends meet and bring it home to put clothes on your back, yada, yada, yada. So if I have to do all of these things for you and you can't even sit here and hold my hand over some feelings, then,
you gotta give her more grace than that, bro.
Dude, this is coming from the ratchet, I fucked up all my life perspective. Like, you lace, bro, but you got to find some middle ground, bro.
You do.
You got to find
operate
in the middle.
You got
I wasn't really expecting that answer from you, to be honest. I kind of am shocked. I kind of thought that you would be on the side of, and this is not to insult your answer, but I thought that you would be on the side of that. Like, no matter what, if I offer an olive branch, you should always take it. Because at the end of the day, it's the respect, if anything, because of what I put up. I know, like, don't get me wrong, I know that she does what she does too as well, and I'm not trying to discredit her for that. But all I'm saying is that, like I said, I can go out here, somebody come up to us with
bro. You gotta have balance. You told us that you put all of your stuff in her name. You told us that. Wait. You also told us that she carried you before you took off. You can't forget the person that held you down.
You know what makes me so afraid is when I've seen.
Hold on. You keep making it about you. You forgot the person that held you down and gave you the boost before you got to become who you are. See, I listened to that. And when I heard that, I took that into consideration also, in addition to you extending your hand like an olive branch. What about the person that held you down and made sure that you was good and believed in your dreams before you believed in yourself? What about that part? Because we skipping over. Hold on. Listen, I love to hold women accountable when they do something wrong. But you are not telling me anything that she did wrong except for getting upset. Listen, if I go and I give my daughter a whooping and something different that she don't, and she's going to learn a lesson later, I'm not expecting her to feel good about it, but then discipline. And sometimes I can't be doing it because you care for them. And so in the same way that you expect she held you down and she believed in you and she carried you along until you took off. And then she took off after you took off, meaning that she put you in the forefront before she put herself up there.
That's rare. That's rare, man.
Bro, what else you want?
Okay.
Because everybody is not going to be a finished product at 24, 25, 26, and 27 years old. You want somebody that you can build with, somebody that you can grow with. That's one of the intangibles. That's the instincts. That's the eighth thing that you're looking for.
Okay. I think that that was fine and dandy. But the thing that I broke off with is that afterwards she threw a tantrum and ended up getting the police involved. And that was
shit.
Yeah. She went crazy, bro. She went crazy.
Okay. Now you hear that? You heard that? Now she's crazy. Now she threw a tantrum and she threw something at him, and now she's crazy. You know what that sound? That sound like? That sound like when you back a hyena up in a corner and she can't say that the man she is trying to make him look bad actually look bad. He don't actually look bad. Then she'll say, well, he was being abusive and he was being controlling. And I always call cap on that. And do you know why I call cap on that? And why I'm calling cap on this? Is because if she was crazy and throwing stuff and fighting all the time, you'd have led with that. If she was a crazy, tantrum throwing, argumentative, police calling chick that always is arguing and fighting and calling them boys on you, you would have said that's why we broke up, because she always fighting and arguing over simple stuff. And then the last straw was that she called the police on me and I got arrested because we had a argument in the house, and I don't deal with women that call police on me. See, it's cap. And if she did get mad enough to actually throw something at you, you pushed her over there. And I don't say that often. Because if you got a chick that didn't get that kind of mad after having what you said was an emotionally charged conversation where you were grilling her and she was feeling real bad about it, and she didn't have that reaction, her reaction was to go somewhere and kind of mope and stuff like that, and she wasn't fighting in, and she wasn't continuing to argue, and she wasn't continuing to throw no tantrum or nothing like that, then where did the tantrum come from? Because he never gets into how the police got called or what happened. He never tells that story. Anton actually asks him, he never tells that story. He dances around how that even went down. Like, how do you get to the point where she threw something and the police was called? And then he danced around that completely. And this is why I be calling cap on stuff. Because if you can't say how that went down, I doubt it went down. It may have happened, but it ain't happening the way you said it was happening. If she did throw a tantrum and throw something at you and the police was called, it ain't happened the way you said it was happening. Something you see, I know when I'm not hearing the whole story. Anton backed him up with his own words. All Anton was doing was repeating the stuff that he said without additions. This is what you said. This is what you said about the relationship that you were in. This is what you said about the female you was dealing with. This is what you said about her character. This is what you said she was doing throughout the duration of the relationship. This is how you said this woman has been to you. And then you told me you switched up. That's what you said. Like, I'm not making that up. And she's not here to add into it. So we going by what you said. And then when he was like, nothing that you telling me is telling me that she was doing something so egregious that you broke up with her. Like, I'm not hearing the last straw. Like, I'm not hearing the last straw here. What's the last straw? Like, what was she doing that was so consistently bad that you was like, nah, I'm not dealing in a relationship with you no more. And then when Anton brought that to the fore, his go-to was, she got mad and she threw something and then she called the police on me. Now I'm about to hold the woman accountable. And this, like I said, this really is for the women. This is for the women. She got herself caught up. And now she's going to be bitter. She's going to be bitter. She's going to be one of them chicks that get on the internet and say how you ain't supposed to build no man. Don't never build no man, because when they get up, they leave you and da. She's going to be one of them. How did she get to that point? Because she started out a relationship and she did not secure anything with this man before intertwining her life with him. She intertwined her life with him. She took on all of his debt. She took on all of it. This is stuff wives do for their husbands. That's just like not marrying before you carry. This is the same thing. This is like having a kid with somebody, and now you intertwine with them in ways that you don't need to be intertwined with them, and there was no commitment prior to. So now you want to be surprised at how this person is moving and what they doing and all this other type of stuff. But the vetting process was not one that included marriage at the end of it. So now it was vetting for what? What was you doing? You intertwined your life living with a person, what the old folks used to call shacking up and all this type of stuff. You living with a man, you know what I'm saying, and all this type of stuff. It may have been well-intentioned. She may have been well-intentioned, but this is how a lot of chicks get bitter, because they set themselves up in ways to now feel manipulated, and now they feel used, and now they feel mistreated, and now they feel betrayed. Okay? This is what this leads into. So when you are young and you are looking for these relationships, you have to vet for the marriage. Get married. Get married. Because somebody probably told her she was too young to be married, but she wasn't too young to do all this. This was marriage stuff. This is the real marriage stuff when you're not married. See, hyenas be saying, don't be feminine. Like, don't, you know what I'm saying, be feminine with your man and stuff like that. I'm not doing wife stuff, that's girlfriend stuff. If you want to cook your man a meal, or you want to do his service, his khidmat and stuff like that, and you want to do that, and you feminine with your man that y'all are vetting and y'all in a courtship with, that's fine. That's not doing wife stuff at a girlfriend level and all that kind of stuff. That's the foolishness that hyenas is talking about. What I'm talking about is the investment of the helpmeet. That's the real wife stuff. The investment of being a helpmeet. Because a helpmeet is not just the person that's cooking dinner and cleaning house and doing laundry. The helpmeet, when you're a helpmeet as a woman, you are supporting the dream. You are supporting the vision. You are supporting the man. You are doing whatever it is that he has asked you to do in support of him to get y'all to a better place. And the only time that he feels obligation to that, to bring you with him, is when you are his wife. He'll feel an obligation more to his wife that he married. But if you just a chick that's just allowing him to be, you know what I'm saying, this and that, and there's no definition to what's going on, the relationship has not really been solidified. In essence, this is a situationship. Because you single till you married. So this is a situationship. Okay? Y'all get into situationships. I'm talking to the women. Y'all get into situationships. These are not marriages. And when, you know what I'm saying, it doesn't pan out the way you thought it was going to, or the way you you know what I'm saying, looked like it was going to, or whatever the case might have been, then you feel manipulated and you feel betrayed about it. Now you're jaded. Now you don't want to invest into a relationship again. Now when a man come along that's not finna waste your time, he's going to marry you. Now you want to hold back and say, well, I'm not gonna do this because I did it before and I got played. Well, you did it before, not under no obligations. He wasn't obligated. As much as we saying he a Guyana and stuff like that, he wasn't obligated to her. That's the long and short of it. That's the big issue. He wasn't obligated to her. There was no vows exchanged. There was no promises made. There was no covenant created. So therefore, he felt okay walking out of a situationship. He felt okay about it. Now, the only thing is that now his worst fear is now the only thing that he can deal with now is his worst fear, which is a woman that just wants him for the money he got now. That's all that he's going to run into now, is because a woman that sees him at the finish line. Now he always gonna be trying to figure out whether or not she want him or do she want the money that he has. Now he always gonna have to figure that out. But this is really why I wanted to talk about this, because women need to understand the dynamic and what we really mean when we say you are supporting your man and you are helping to build with your man, your husband. Doing this stuff without no obligation or nothing like that. And there's no covenant, there's no vow, there's no duty, there's no nothing to hold, there's nothing to hold together. You didn't create nothing that can be held together. It was all fly by night. He could have left at any point. You could have left at any point. It was all a dream. We used to read Straight Up magazine. Okay, it was all a dream. Okay? It was nothing. It was not built on anything. You built a house on sand and the wave came and washed it away. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, you know. But don't build your house on sand. Don't do it. It's women out there that are young lionesses. That's why my channel exists. To catch you before you do stuff like this and then get too bitter to properly function as a lioness anymore. Because you got hurt and you don't want to experience it anymore. This is why my channel exists, to get the young lionesses too. To stop them in their tracks. I'm trying to tell you the stuff that apparently your mama didn't tell you and the women around you don't tell you, and you don't have the anybody around you that can help you with this information. Nobody helped that young lady. Before she got 4 years in the line with this, nobody helped her and said, baby, you ain't supposed to do that. I'm all for how she operated. How she operated wasn't the problem. Word Up Magazine, y'all know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, because it was a straight up magazine. But anyway, Straight Up Magazine existed. I used to actually read straight. Anyway. I'm all for how she moved. How she moved wasn't so much problematic in the details. She wasn't doing it under the cover and the protection of marriage. Y'all gonna really play like it wasn't no such thing as a Straight Up Magazine? Y'all didn't read that magazine? Whatever. I know. Cause y'all gonna be all in the comment section. A whole hour and 30 minutes of what I said gonna be going down the drain because folks gonna be in the comment section talking about it was Word Up Magazine. I know how it go. Anyway. I already know. An hour and 30 minutes. And it's gonna be the takeaway is going to be I made a mistake and said straight up rather than word up. That's gonna be the takeaway. Whatever. I was thinking of there is a such thing as Straight Up, but it's not a hip hop magazine. There were several. There was Word Up, and then there was Right On. That's actually the other way. The other one I was thinking about. But anyways, let me get to the Thank you, Bakish, for your super sticker. I appreciate you. Thank you, B989XL. Catch the replay later. Many learn from your knowledge and example. Thank you so much. Thank you, Common Man. Said, yep, enough said. Thank you once again, Common Man. Said, when I divorced my wife, her own mother called her daughter a fool, 100% fact. Thank you so much, Miss Celine. So I have absolutely nothing to worry about, but I'd still be shaking in shock if a guy asked me how many times did I XYZ. That's too personal. Thank you once again, Common Man. Say I'm almost 63. This happened in the 90s. I took her and her 2 kids in, gave her a 5-bathroom home when they came from a 2-bedroom apartment. I didn't understand then. Can't figure it. Thank you so much, Miss Celine. Again, so I either fold up, cry, or both when I'm upset, pretty much. Thank you, Steven. Said this fool is an insult to hyenas. I don't see them even claiming. I don't hear them even claiming this foolishness. Thank you so much. D's have been gone for a while now. I'm back. Life, it's a lot. Well, welcome back. Thank you so much, Common Man. So the kids have their own room instead of having to sleep in one room, one mattress. That's why I don't mess with unwed mothers anymore. I'll never do that again. Thank you so much, Mr. New Grooves at Rock Bottom. It's a solid foundation to rebuild your house upon. I appreciate you. Thank you, International, saying if you don't know, now you know. Biggie, thank you so much. Thank you, Jeffrey, so I was with you, sis. Trust me. Thank you so much. I appreciate everything, everybody's contribution to the channel. I appreciate everybody's contribution. Let's continue the conversation in the comments. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm your hostess, The Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.